Hello and welcome to Movie Phone. Welcome to Healthy Body and Mind. Today we're going to be teaching you how to read food labels
and how to weed through all the bullshit. Let's go.
Alright, I'm sure many of you grocery shop. I know I sometimes just go hunting and climbing trees and picking my fruits, but sometimes I have to go to the grocery store. And those of you trying to make health a priority know that you probably have to eat more real foods and cut out preservatives and junk foods. It sounds easier than it is. I think we all know in general people tell us stay away from this, stay away from that. Food companies know that, so they stuff kind of trigger words on labels that could get you thinking that the food is not toxic.
Trust me, it is. As you probably have noticed when you walk into the grocery store, I want to say 95% of the grocery store is filled with packaged items. So usually when you're walking in and you're looking at a food label, most people tend to look at calories, total fat, carbs, and protein. And unfortunately, this is not going to keep you safe. You're going to have to look down at the ingredient list. And so because of this, because we've been learning more about the ingredient lists and the chemicals that are in them, and we've made the choice and the decision to consciously become almost 95% preservative and additive free, chemical free, I guess you could say. Although we know that for everyone quitting cold turkey, everything preservative, everything additive is probably not realistic for a lot of you, there are simpler ways. So you can start with small steps.
So you compile the list of 5 preservatives and additives you should definitely stay away from, even run from. Okay, so the first one is artificial sweetener. So usually you see these in the 0-calorie drinks, the Diet Pepsis, the Diet Cokes, 0-calorie, vitamin water, sugar-free type things. While this sounds good because it's 0 calories, it's actually counterintuitive. So what these artificial sweeteners and the aspartame actually does is actually cause you to crave more sugar. So while you deciding that, okay, I'm gonna have this Coke Zero and not have any sugars for this meal, it's actually going to cause you to crave more sugars and carbohydrates later on in the day or the next day.
And then just to make it worse,
it actually prevents the fat burning process in the body. So again, I know everyone thinks calories in, calories out. While there is some truth to that, you have to remember what you're putting in your body can actually stop you from getting to where you want to be. You have to remember what you're putting in your body matters a lot more than calories in versus calories out.
Number 2, this is going to be your artificial colors. They go by multiple names. You have red 40, titanium dioxide, tartrazine, and a lot of these are actually banned in other countries. So for me, that raises a red flag. You're going to see these in your drinks mostly because it's usually a coloring. So it'll be in your Gatorades, your High C, your maybe Sunny D, but who's even drinking Sunny D anymore?
I drink Sunny D.
Yeah, so kids' juice boxes, all that. It's also in coffee creamers. They use them to make the coffee creamer whiter. So yeah, you have to read the label and know these names and know the pseudonyms and kind of be able to navigate that to know what you're putting in your body because they're awful. These artificial dyes are made of coal, tar, and petroleum derivatives. To me, I don't know. I'm not trying to have them on my phone. And then also studies have shown that food dyes are actually linked to symptoms of depression and anxiety, unfortunately. So if you're trying to lower your symptoms, definitely throw this one out the door. So monosodium glutamate is number 3. Awful, awful. But what makes me even more mad is that it has multiple names. So it will go by yeast. Why can't I read? It will go by
yeast. Yeast.
Yeast extract, textured vegetable protein, sodium caseinate, and multiple other names.
A wacky inflatable tube, man.
Excuse me, you just spit on me. So MSGs actually are used to induce obesity and diabetes in lab animals. So the reason why they do this is to test the newest diabetes medication, to do studies on obesity, and I don't understand how I'm supposed to be losing weight if you're putting something in my body that is inducing obesity and diabetes. Our friend Hidden Valley Ranch, the seasoning mix, seasoning dressing, here I can see it says monosodium glutamate.
So if you look at this label of the chunky soup, you see it says, oh, I got 18 grams per can, I'm about to get lit up in the gym, right? I'm about to get these gains. Oh, not only that, the chicken is made with no antibiotics. But then you read the laundry list of ingredients, and it's got MSGs in there. That's other one.
Pick crazy.
Next on the list is partially hydrogenated oils. I don't know about you, but I don't want anything that difficult to pronounce in my body. So these are also known as your trans fats. These are typically found in your fat feet.
When you got big ass feet.
These are typically found in your fat-free foods. So again, kind of like the 0-calorie drinks I was talking about earlier, it's counterintuitive because these fat-free foods are not using natural fats, they're using these hydrogenated oils that increase your LDL. In your blood cholesterol, there's LDLs and HDLs. HDLs are the good guys, you want these guys up here. LDLs are the bad guys, you want them here. You eat these hydrogenated stuff, all of a sudden you're looking like this. Not the ratio you want. So on top of that, now it increases a risk for blood clots. They increase your risk of getting a metabolic disease like diabetes. So not only does it have adverse effects on your physical body and your internal body, it also has effects on your brain. Studies show that having more trans fats in your blood lead to a decrease in serotonin production. So serotonin is the neurotransmitter in your brain that regulates your mood, which can lead you to have depressive symptoms. Anything hydrogenated, just don't do it. Just don't be hydrogenated.
So it just makes it that much harder to stay in a healthy mindset, stay in a healthy lifestyle when, you know, both your mind and your body are being affected by the preservatives that you're putting into them. So number 5 is sodium benzoate. We have some examples here. See this guy? Who doesn't love a good ramen? So we have a bunch of junk food that we bought during hurricane season when everybody freaked out that the hurricane would come, but it never came. So this guy says no added MSGs. Remember when we talked about MSGs? But if we go to the label, we see that this one has sodium benzoate. Okay, we're going to talk about sodium benzoate. Who doesn't love barbecue sauce? Sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate has actually been approved by the FDA, but that's under the impression that it is in small amounts. So prolonged use of having sodium benzoate in your system can actually cause liver failure. So my problem with that is the FDA approves it, and you ingest it assuming that it's healthy, but the problem is that multiple brands are putting them in their ingredient list, and you're eating multiple of these foods over time. And to me, that's considered prolonged use.
So as you guys can see, these ingredients are kind of everywhere. So cutting these ingredients out is pretty difficult, but it just starts by taking out, you know,
a little at a time, I think.
We recommend that you don't include these preservatives and additives and stuff like that in your diet. But as we know, life happens, and there's a time where, you're going to have, you're at your kid's birthday party, there's going to be pizza, there's going to be all these type of foods, and that's perfectly okay, to enjoy the moment and be with your family, be with your friends, and have that. But it's really consistency over time, right? If you have these foods every single day, you're gonna feel the effects of having it every single day, right? But if you have good whole foods every single day where you don't have these in your diet, you're gonna feel those effects.
Like we said, we eat predominantly whole foods. We're not eating packaged foods, and if we are, we're being very cognizant of what's in the label. So when we do eat something that's more non-nutritional or something that was in a package, we feel the effects literally immediately. It's absolutely insane. And so you kind of have to give your body a chance to feel those things so that you can know what actually is good for you and not good for you. Truthfully, food was not meant to have a shelf life of 50 years.
When you have these moments where I guess you indulge and you have sweets or whatever your craving is for that day, that it's okay, you have it, you move on, because you know that you're going to continue consistently being on track with your whole food kind of approach. The moment you, I guess, slip up and have a day where you have all these type of processed foods and junk foods, you're gonna wake up the next day like, why did I even do that? I don't feel good at all. So really give yourself a time to get away from these type of foods, to really feel what it's like to be on the other side of not ingesting those things.
So we're going to challenge you to try to cut out at least one of these from your diet and see if it makes a difference. Yeah. So we actually have a free ultimate holistic weight loss guide. If you're interested in that, we kind of go through our whole process and thinking behind weight loss and fitness is very different than the traditional fitness industry. So I'm going to link that down below. If you want that, you can get that totally free to you.
So comment below with a thumbs up if you're ready to start this journey. Please subscribe to our channel if you found this useful. We'll have plenty of holistic fitness tips to share on this channel. So please hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos.
See ya.
For more day-to-day updates, you can follow us on Instagram at The Healthy Body in Mind. See ya.